Some say the devil's greatest trick was convincing the world he didn't exist. I say his greatest trick was convincing us that central banks should exist. And then these central banks go about convincing us that only debt is money, and to this toxic debt we must sacrifice our sovereign souls to eternal inflation, deflation, damnation!
Well, speaking of central banks and convincing us that debt is money, of course, part of that was convincing us that gold and silver are not money, and they've tried to vanish it from our collective consciousness. So, Austrian press agency cites GATA in report on possible audit of Austria's gold. The Austrian National Bank was forced to admit last week in Parliament that 80% of Austria's national gold is in London, and explained that the bank has earned 300 million euros in the past decade with gold leasing operations. After an expert commented that this suggested that a large part of the gold was leased out, the bank leaked that currently only 16% of the reserves are affected. The bank gave no explanation for the relatively high income from gold lending.
Well, GATA scores again. Bill Murphy and Chris Powell over there at GATA. Of course, simple math will tell you that if you're leasing that quantity at that rate for that period of time, you end up with a certain number, which is unimpeachable, and it points the finger at the Austrian Central Bank as being inveterate liars, and GATA is going after them as they rightfully should.